Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto was an immortal half Otsutsuki. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episodes over the other channels. Yes, if you're new, I indeed have 4 channels that I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince. All the links are down in the description, so go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because like I said, I post every day, so it's a lot. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, we started at the Hidden Leaf. At the moment, Hiruzen Sarutobi, Hokage of the Hidden Leaf, was going through a lot on how exactly he was going to fix this problem that he had brought upon them. Yes, while he was not directly involved in the proceedings that led to the downfall, or he would have liked to think the downfall of Uzu, however they fail. He had Danzo leak information. Uzu was not helping Konoha as much as he would like. He had argued with them for several occasions on joining the village outright. That would help boost Konoha economy and power, and also ensure that Uzu was well secured. However, they declined on every single occasion, as they decided to stay by themselves. So after time, Hiruzen allowed Danzo to leak the information. A regrettable action that had to be done to make sure that Konoha remained number 1. So, he could not let them know. Danzo came to his office as the man was there. They had to discuss a way to do this without raising suspicion on themselves. So they were talking amongst themselves on how to solve this. They were the only two that knew about it at the moment, as Hiruzen could not allow information like this to leak. Even as trusted people, he could not allow this information to leak. And despite everything, Danzo was someone that wanted the goodness for Konoha, and he would stop at nothing to get it done. Thus they came up with a plan, however that also meant that Hiruzen would have to make a showing at Uzu himself. Onward to Hiruzen, Danzo had sent several of his root ninjas there in order to capture several Uzumakis which he would have under his control, without Hiruzen's knowledge. However, that failed because none of them wanted to step forward towards the village when they saw the behemoth of a man erasing all of the opposing forces. So they came back and reported all to Danzo. So unlike Hiruzen, Danzo knew a lot more, and especially knew every detail about the man. It got the both of them to think about the past. Hiruzen himself was not there, but his father, Sasuke Sarutobi, had informed about the battle that happened. When they saw a beam of light that arced its way up into the sky, one single man that was able to demolish both the first and Madara Uchiha by himself and take the Nine Tails for himself, he seemed to be angry with their actions. Up to this day, most did not know about that because it was kept to the Hokage and just a close circle of people around him. So yes, that information was not well known within Konoha. Even to this day, most believe that it was just a story that was being told. While that was going on, the other nations were not taking this lightly. The new Raikage A, he had taken over for his father upon his father's body being returned to the village as a funeral happened. They had lost many good men and women out there. He intended to rectify this, but not now. Now he had to call back all of his forces. This had severely hit them badly, more than they thought, and he had to think for the betterment of the village before going to a war. So at the moment, the third Great Shinobi War is currently postponed. As for Kiri, they had been hit the hardest, seeing that all of their shinobis in the fleet had been eviscerated, and not to mention their Mizukage and also the next promising Mizukage was also killed, so they were in a state of disarray. Oniki was still in a coma after being hit by Naruto, as there was a 50-50% chance that he live or die. His organs were severely messed up. He had to have a few organ transplants. Yes, he was badly messed up. So he had a 50-50% chance of coming out of this alive. So right now the council take all the power and pull their army back off the field. So Konoha and the Sand had the majority of the strength. They could decide to go ahead with the war and wipe out the other nations and take supreme control. However, only time will tell. Meanwhile that was going on, Naruto was at the village, as he was on the shore to be exact, as Kagura was playing with the water embodiment and the sand embodiment that he created, as he watched her play around and dance. The people here had guilt him to stay, especially Kushina on her part, as Naruto decided to stay around for a little while before he had to move on. Not to mention, their pure kind-hearted nature made him happy as he watched her. Kushina came not too long after saying that their mother was calling Kagura. The little girl wanted to stay and play with Naruto, but she had to go, as Kushina was a bit jealous as she wondered if he liked her sister more than she, as Naruto merely chuckled at that. However, Kushina realized that he treated her just as he treated her sister, as a child. That was something that she did not like though. Meanwhile that was going on, a meeting was taking place. Kagami was not stupid with all of the evidence, and with Hiruzen now making his way towards the village, they knew that they were behind this, that they were the ones that leaked information to the other nation. That is why they'll be changing up many things without making Konoha aware of this. The other members knew that they could not really go to war right now. The whole world was at a standstill, and not to mention, Naruto was not a part of their village. So depending on someone like him for his good nature all the time was something they could not do. So for now they had to just bide their time, remain neutral in all of this despite knowing that Konoha was a backstabbing bastard. So they would just have to remain calm. They saw how calm their leader was, and his daughter was a target. So if he could be so calm, they could be calm as well. So with that they simply bide their time for now. Sometime later Naruto was called as he made his way towards the office. He sat down with Kagami as the both of them spoke, as Naruto made it well known that if it was his daughter and Konoha had made a move after her, his words were cryptic, as Naruto let him know that he was a better man than him in this regard. Something was missing, as he had come to notice that from Naruto being here, he was missing something in his life. He remembered hearing stories from his grandfather when Naruto surprised him and told him that he knew of his grandfather when he said the name. Now that was surprising given how long time ago that was, seeing that Uzumaki's could live up to a long age. But he had known that Naruto's lifespan was nothing normal, seeing that Naruto called him a young one when they first got here. However, this was more of a surprise, but he remembered hearing stories in the past that he thought was fairy tale. But could it be? Could Naruto be the one that his grandfather always talked about? The one that reigned supreme over all, with power that could shake the very heavens himself? It seems like it was. As Naruto agreed that he would be a part of this meeting, that the Hokage was going to be a part of. As Naruto made his way back toward the shores, just looking up towards the moon, when suddenly he felt something as he turned his head. A woman appeared, out of sparkling blue lights, like she was teleported on the ground. She walked over as Naruto saw her. She had a look on her face, an apologetic one, as she called him Naruto-sama, calling his name with great respect. She told him that it was gone, as Naruto quirked the eyebrow to that. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the page for yourself. So with this to begin this new episode, let's jump right into it guys. What do you mean it's gone? Naruto asked, as he stood in front of the woman, who had just appeared out of nowhere in a brilliant shade of blue light. She had white hair that stopped at her neck. She had Byakugan eyes. They were not as pronounced as Naruto eyes. Her body was clad in a white robe. There was a look of elegance about her as she looked at him. She looked nervous, not fully meeting his gaze. Amiko, said Naruto. Answer the question. The woman now known as Amiko looked up towards him. Nervousness in her eyes as she looked towards him. It vanished. a few years ago. We've been trying to find it ever since. We thought that we could have found it by ourselves, given that it's our job to keep it safe. We did not want to worry you about this, so we had taken it upon ourselves to try and find it. However, it's been a few years now, and I believe you should know, she said. Naruto did not respond, as he just looked at the woman, his gaze unknowing because he did not blink or did he frown. His face was just set in a neutral tone. Bring me up there, said Naruto. But Naruto-san, I said bring me up there, said Naruto. She nodded her head before she brought her hands together, her palms releasing a slight light that started to grow brighter and brighter before she placed her palm out. As Naruto placed his hand in her hand, the both of them were encompassed by a bright light before they vanished. The next second, the both of them reappear on top of a gigantic ceiling matrix that had summoned them back to the area. Upon reappearing up there were several people around. As they saw Naruto, many of them gasped, looking at him with nothing but respect. As Naruto walked, as several of them started to whisper and talk to one another upon seeing him, but he just kept on walking. At the moment, Naruto was currently on the moon. Despite it being the moon, it looked similar to Earth. Several materials that made up buildings up there. As people saw him, as Naruto arrived towards a massive door, there were two guards in front of it. The moment they saw him, they bowed their head and opened the door immediately. As Naruto stepped inside, arriving towards the large room, Amiko was walking beside him as she tried to keep up. Said large room had a massive window. A massive gigantic window that allowed them to see the outer crust of the moon. As a man stood in front of it, his back turned to them. Father, Amiko said, causing said man to turn as he faced Naruto. He had a look of shame written all over his face as Naruto walked towards him and stopped a few feet away from the man. Disappointment in his eyes as he tried to avert them from Naruto. As Naruto spoke, "Why didn't you come to me sooner?" he asked. The man looked up, clear disappointment written all over his face. "We were given one job," he said. "In doing so, we thought to ourselves different from the ones on earth, who have enslaved their own brethren and mankind. For that, we do not integrate or mix ourselves with them, allowing to remain high above, retaining and observing, and also protecting what we have been doing for several years now. So let me get this straight," said Naruto. "You let your pride at being given a job by my brother stop you from coming to me for years," said Naruto, his tone not pleased in the slightest. The man looked down in disappointment. This man standing in front of Naruto was known as Hoshino Otsutsuki. Same for Amiko. She was Amiko Otsutsuki. They had retained the name from his brother, Hamura. Hamura Otsutsuki, a very long time ago, had chosen to remain on the moon to watch over their mother and also keep the husk of the Ten-Tail safe, taking along with him several of his people. Those chosen people had came on the moon and carry on the lineage of the Otsutsuki clan, while the others on Earth have started to call themselves Hyugas. Over the years though, they have only brought shame to the Byakugan, using seals to keep their own family members in check and keep them at bay, and use them as slaves. That is why Naruto did not associate himself with those kind of people. They were nothing of his brother lineage. They had corrupted the bloodline and strayed to a path that he could not help them. So he had washed his hand of them and simply refused to acknowledge their existence. However, these people up here, they were different. Over the years that has passed, they have stuck with their goals. Generations after generations kept on, following the path of retaining his brother wishes to keep the earth down below safe. Many of them in the past had strayed from his brother's words, believing that what Hamura wanted was the destruction of mankind if they went too far. However, Naruto was there to set them straight and also stop them from sealing their Byakugan together to create the Tensegan and use it as a weapon to cause mass destruction and chaos if the world had ever strayed from the path that Haguro might saw it as. However, Naruto had stopped them from thinking about that ideal. So as years went by, despite being similar to the ones that were on the earth, they completely cut from them. They called themselves Otsutsuki instead of Hyuga. as he retained his brother's last name. They had a wonderful society up here, and there was a lot of them. They had grown over time, with the help of Naruto, allowing them to live on the moon and also keep it stable. That is why they respect him so much. However, their main goal was given to them by Hamura, and that was to watch over the statue, to make sure that it did not fall in the wrong hands. Although Hamura knew that Naruto was on Earth, so there will be nothing that could forcefully take the Gedo statue away without him doing something about it. However, Naruto was not told about this because this man in front of him, Hoshino, believed that they could have found it without getting Naruto involved because they didn't want to bother him. "Let me ask you a question," said Naruto. "Seeing that now the statue is gone, if the beast is to return, are you capable of stopping it?" Naruto asked. The man did not answer as he already knew the answer and the outcome of that battle if he had tried to face off against the Ten Tails. "Exactly. That is why you should have come to me," said Naruto. "You let your pride get in the way, because it seems like you don't understand the significance of this. There's only one way for this to be taken without someone literally coming here to take it away, and that is to reverse summon it." Amiko gasped behind Naruto as Naruto glanced over his shoulder. "But Naruto-sama, does that mean—" "Yes," said Naruto, "and whoever has the Rinnegan is keeping it a well-guarded secret, because I would have known by now if not. That means this person is plotting something. They know a lot more than they should." A deep concerned look came on Naruto's face. The man saw the look and asked, "What is it?" As Naruto turned his gaze away from them, looking out towards the massive glass in front of him. "For a very long time now, a creature has been eluding me." "What kind of creature, Naruto-sama?" Amiko asked. "A creation of my mother." Your mother?" Amiko said in shock. "Wait, does that mean—" "No. That thing doesn't have the power to do this. However, it does mean that there's someone out there that is working with. Given how long it's been running away for now, knowing that if I get my hands on it, I will erase it. It has a lot of information, things that the humans down there should not know. Things that might cause this world to go into chaos once more, and allow that beast to be revived." "But what about the tail beasts? Don't you have them under your protection?" Amiko asked. "Yes," said Naruto. "But this thing, it knows that I have them, and yet it is still going on with its plans. That makes me believe that it has a way to achieve what it wants without actually running into me. It's plotting something. But I'll find it before it commences whatever it's gonna do. And when I do find the Gedo statue, I'll be taking it." "What do you mean?" Hoshino asked. "I said, I'll be taking it," said Naruto. "You have failed in your duties and for not informing me the moment this happened. I'll be taking watch over it." "But you can't," Hoshino said. Naruto turned and looked towards him. "I said, I'll be taking watch over it. There is no question here. I did not ask your opinion. Do you understand me?" As Naruto started to walk away, without another thought, as he paused. "You've done well. You and the past generations keeping the people up here safe. Undiluted, untempted by the power-hungry mankind down there. Yes, there's goodness down there, but this clan has not been touched by any of the hatred, by any of the war. And you've been pure for a very long time. Do not concern yourself with this. Continue to allow your people to thrive. You've done well in your time as a leader. You still have your people to watch over and protect. Let me handle what is going on down there," said Naruto. As he left, Amiko turned towards her father, who clenched his fist, but he released a breath. He knew that there was nothing he could really do. Despite him being a descendant of Hamura, that man that was now leaving was the older brother of Hamura, Otsutsuki, a man that has reached a pinnacle of power that none of them could ever reach or understand, a man who has walked this earth for centuries now. As Amiko looked towards her father, "Don't be sad, father," she said. "Your leadership and teaching has brought our people to new heights. You have been one of the greatest leaders that we have. But you know as well as I do that mankind would never be satisfied with what they have, always trying to gain more power. And now, they have started something that they cannot control. They have angered him by taking the Gedo statue. And you and I both know last time what happened when mankind displeased him. A look of understanding came on his face. And a look of fright as well. Yes, they all know the stories. The stories might have been lost to the humans down below, but they know of it. The people on the earth were unaware that humanity was on the verge of extinction and complete annihilation. The only thing that stopped that was Naruto having a change of heart. And now this thing, whatever it was, had gone and started something that it would not be able to finish. She would actually feel sorry for this thing if she did not know what it wanted. And that was to bring back that beast and that woman. And of all the stories she heard about her, it is best if she stay sealed away. Amiko went after Naruto. Naruto-sama, wait! As she caught up with him as he stood on the ceiling platform. Naruto turned towards her. There was another reason why I wanted to speak with you. We sense your power. As she looked at him, did something happen? It's been a very long while since we felt you. Use this amount of power, she said. I had to stop a massacre, said Naruto. So the humans are fighting once again, she said with disappointment. I still don't understand why. You continue to socialize with them. Why not come here to stay with us once this whole business is over with? I mean, we are your people. We're your family, she said to him. As Naruto glanced upwards, as much as Hamura believed in Hagoromo dreamed that mankind could find peace amongst one another, despite the years telling me that it's not possible. Every now and then I'm able to see a glimpse of what my brother meant, and there are still people out there that does not deserve to suffer, said Naruto. But it's not your responsibility, she said. I know that you're just trying to help, but it's not your responsibility. You don't have to be the one to take all the burden upon yourself. You've interfered enough, and I can see that over time, mankind is only bringing you down by their actions. They're not changing, they're just continuing. How many world wars have gone since? They start to understand the engine inside their body. How many people have used this for chaos instead of healing? How many people have used this for destruction instead of uniting the nations together and bringing peace? You yourself once told me that you could not actively interfere with certain matters because it will only change things too much. So why? Why did you decide to stop this massacre, as you say? As Naruto looked towards her, I truly do not know, he said, but I must go now. And with that, he started to vanish away as she watched him leave with a sigh. Immortality, she thought to herself. Many people might wish for it, especially down there in the ninja world, believing that with that, they would be unstoppable, but they don't know the true ramifications of what immortality meant. Having to outlive everyone, having to outlive everything around you, having to watch civilization grow, and then civilization fall, knowing that you can never truly be with someone because one day you'd have to watch them, and their entire line pass after the next, because you can never truly die. So while immortality can seem like something wonderful, it is certainly not, she thought to herself. For someone that can put everything above himself and choose to act to intervene and save people, he deserved to be happy as well, she thought to herself, before she turned her back and made her way. Time skip. Jiraiya of the Sannin was looking down with a smile on his face, as he was currently on Mount Miyaboku. Ahead of him was a young child that seemed to be 14 or 15 years old. He had blue eyes and blonde hair. At the moment he was sparring with a toad that possessed two blades. The toad clashed against him as the small child had two kunais in his grip. He clashed against the toad. His speed and agility was something impressive for someone so young, as he was moving pretty fast. Jiraiya looked down towards him proudly. Minato Namikaze, he had been placed on a team under Jiraiya tutelage. However, all of them had quickly made Chunin. However, Jiraiya had taken him on as a personal apprentice, seeing something quite special in the boy. Minato lost his parents at a very young age in the Second Great Shinobi War, and he's been an orphan ever since. However, the boy possessed an ingenious amount of intellect, and also incredible at learning and picking up things immediately. Jiraiya had saw the potential in him. That is why he had further went to request him as a student, and thus he had brought him to Mount Miyaboku to sharpen his skills. Soon enough he will start on training him in Senjutsu. He could be the one to surpass him, and perhaps bring peace to this accursed world. A few years back, he had met 3 kids during the Second Regional War, as he had saw one of them that he thought might be capable of such a feat as well. But not too long ago he heard that all of them died in the beginning of the Great Third Shinobi War. However, at the moment the Third Great Shinobi War was placed on hold, given the fact that all the nations were currently, well, not making a move. The small child finished off with a toad. As he walked up towards his sensei, Jiraiya sensei, he said. Jiraiya looked down towards Minato. You're getting better. Faster with your movement, said Jiraiya. Keep that up, and there will be no limit to your speed. As Minato had a look on his face, he wanted to ask something. What's on your mind? It's about the recent rumors. The Uzumakis. Ah yes, speaking of that, I'm gonna have to leave here soon. I'll be meeting up with Sensei to accompany him to go to the Land of Whirlpool. So what do you want to know, kid? Jiraiya asks. The rumors are spreading around everywhere that a single man was able to wipe out thousands of shinobi by himself. I heard people back in the village are saying that he was the one that faced off against Madara Uchiha and the first Hokage and defeated the both of them by himself. However, I always thought that was a rumor. Is it perhaps true? Well, said Jiraiya as he scratched the back of his head. Some people say it's a rumor, some people say it's true. But that was some time ago. But if you ask me, I believe it's true. After all, Sensei father told Sensei that it was a reality what happened on that day. But how can that be possible, said Minato. How can a single man possess so much power to wipe out thousands of ninja and take on Kage 11 ninjas by himself and come out of it alive? There are many unknown things in this world. Things that cannot be explained. Things that I cannot explain. However, perhaps I'll get to meet this legend himself. What? Said Minato. Well, Sensei is going to Uzu. Konoha was not able to receive a message from Uzu. The other nation planned their attack very well, cutting off all routes for a message to go out. I believe they killed the messenger or destroy any messenger bird that sent out for help. It was a good thing that guy was there, otherwise Uzu would have been wiped out completely. So your little friend is safe. A blush came on Minato's face as he turned his head, causing Jiraiya to chuckle. Now what's wrong, kid? He said. I knew that you worried about that little girl, but you just didn't want to ask about her. Why? Afraid that I might tease you, said Jiraiya. Minato blushed some more as he turned away. Some time ago, the leader of Uzu came to Konoha. Minato had already taken an interest in Jiraiya by then. Thus he was able to witness the daughter of the leader of Uzu, a young girl, crimson hair. She was immaculate. Minato had taken an instant liking to her. He even spoke to her. She seemed nice enough. She had came to the village after that a few times. Despite not talking to her that much, Minato actually liked her. It seems like his sensei was always finding the right opportunity for him to be there to see her arrive, or to even greet the delegates of Uzu at the gate. Minato believed that his sensei was plotting all of this so that he could actually meet that girl. If that, well, he was thankful. But neither of them had brought it up. Minato was about to say something when something invaded his senses. It slammed down on him like a tidal wave. Minato being a sensor. To be more precise, he was a touch sensor. However, he could still sense towards a safe distance, not too far. But something had just appeared right in the sensory range. Jiraiya had seemed to sense it as well, despite not being the best sensor. Anyone could have felt that thing just popped up out of nowhere. Both of them snapped their head up as they saw someone descending from the sky. As his feet slowly touched the ground, he then started to walk towards where the head toad was. Hey, said Jiraiya. Who are you? Shocked that this person was here. No one but him and Minato should be here. No other human that being. seeing that he was a summoner of the Toads, and he had Minato sign the contract not too long ago. The contract that he had. So who the hell was this guy? The person did not even pause in their step. They seemed to be ignoring him. Jiraiya rushed forward. "Wait, sensei," said Minato, trying to stop his sensei from doing anything stupid. Whoever this guy was, his power was now heavily suppressed, so he knew that they were there. Jiraiya landed in front of the man, as he was able to get a clear view on him. He had white hair, clear eyes that looked like Byakugan, but they seem more pronounced. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes toward this individual, as the man just looked at him. As Jiraiya stood there, could it be? He wondered to himself. No way. What could be the chances, Jiraiya thought to himself. The description. It was flat on. The man glanced towards him for a brief second before simply walking past him. Jiraiya wanted to make a move, he wanted to do something, but his body did not allow him to, as he felt like he could not move, like he was staring at something that he could not possibly comprehend. Minato rushed up towards him. "Sensei, what happened?" "Why did you just allow him to pass?" said Minato. "Who is that guy?" Jiraiya had no idea what the hell just happened. He just froze up, just by looking into those eyes. His body was telling him not to make a single move. There was no killer intent, no intent to be harmed by this individual, but yet, his body was telling him to remain still. "Why?" "Sensei," said Minato, shaking the man, as Jiraiya was able to snap out of his stupor. "Everything's alright, Minato," he said, looking towards him. "So who is the guy? Do you know him?" asked Minato. Jiraiya turned, but the man was gone. As he glanced around, where did he go? "I don't know," said Minato, as the both of them rushed off, a distance away. The old toad Gamamaru was sitting down, as he was in a rather mighty chair, leaning back. He had gotten really old over the years, when suddenly someone appeared right in front of him. The toads, towards his left and right, rushed in to defend their elder until he spoke up. "Stop!" stopping the both of them. The two toads glancing towards him to see him awake. He was sleeping a lot lately, so for him to be awakened so suddenly by something like this, whoever this person was, he must be no joke. But how did he get here? They've never seen him before. It did not take long for Jiraiya and Minato to arrive on the scene. "Ah, Jiraiya boy," the Grey Toad said, looking towards him. "And Minato-kun, what are you two doing here?" he asked. Minato sighed. They already had this conversation with him, telling him that he was here training, but it seems like he forgot. "Don't you remember we spoke before?" said Jiraiya. "Ah, yes, I do remember now," he said. "However, I need to ask you two to leave, so I can have a conversation with this individual in front of me." "You know him," said Jiraiya. "Yes, he's an old acquaintance, if you might say." As the person did not say a word, he just stood there. "So off you go now," he said. As Jiraiya simply nodded, knowing that the toad must know something that, well, he was never told. "Come on, Minato," he said. Minato looked towards him, as Jiraiya simply nodded. With that, they turned and they walked away. Once they were gone, the two toads went back to his side as they simply closed their eyes in a meditative state. "It's been a while. A real long while, Naruto," Gamamaru said. "Yes, and you've gotten really old," said Naruto. The toad tried to laugh, only to end up in a coughing fit, as he then chuckled a bit at the end. "Yes, I suppose that is what happened with aging," he said, as Naruto simply sat down and looked up at him. "So tell me, what brings you here? It must be something greatly important for you to come here, of all places." "Oh, you know," said Naruto. "Someone is trying to ruin the world once again." "Ah, yes. Something that happened on an occasion that you can speak about it so lightly," said Gamamaru. "However, I'm surprised. You need my help to stop it this time." "What is so dire?" he asked. "The statue. It's missing," said Naruto. "Oh, I see," said Gamamaru. "And you can't find it?" "Whoever has it is somehow connected to it, stopping me from finding it myself. They've cut me off completely." "Well, given that the statue also hates you as well, Despite it being suspended in a frozen state, I believe it's actively not. Try to let you find it as well, Gamamaru said. Correct, said Naruto. So there's no possible way for me to actually find it, given where it is right now. And you think I would be able to find it, Gamamaru asked. No, of course not, said Naruto. I doubt you can even walk properly. How do you expect me to believe that you can find it, Naruto asks. Always one for the wise crack. Aren't you, Naruto boy, he said, with a little twitch of his eye. Well, getting someone like you upset, which is something hard to do, is rather amusing to me. Yes, I would believe so, he said. So tell me then, why have you come? I would like to borrow your orb, said Naruto. You know, the one you use to spy on the human world. You mean watch over? Gamamaru said. Spy, watch over. It's the same thing for you, said Naruto. Gamamaru sighed. I see that you're still upset about my prophecy that I told, he said. One thing about Naruto was that he did not believe in any fate. He believed that anyone can make their own fate and their own future prophecy, and yet, Gamamaru told him that he could prophesy the future, something that Naruto never believed. As Naruto thought that he was just an advanced amphibian, despite his wise, sage wisdom, Gamamaru reached behind him as he pulled out an orb. It was small, as Naruto stepped forward and looked towards it. Now how will this help you, said Gamamaru. It's not like you can find it with this. No, I cannot, said Naruto. However, this little object of yours is connected to nature energy. Thus, I can use it to search the entire place, with my chakra empowering it, and I can simply find the area that is lacking most nature energy, because that beast is repulsed by it, said Naruto. As Gamamaru looked towards Naruto, but that will take ages, he said. Other than searching the entire world, I don't see another way that I can find it, said Naruto. And besides, it's not like they can reach the tail beasts. Yes, that is true, because you have hid them away. So in order to get to them, they will have to go through you first. And I doubt whoever this might be will stand a chance against you at this moment. I recently picked up on your power that I haven't felt in a long time. I had a feeling that I would see you very soon. So would you tell me, why have you decided to show yourself up to the world like this? And who said I was hiding, said Naruto. Well, I did not say that you were hiding, but you used to stay away from human affairs. Just being a watcher, helping here and there, removing yourself from a situation before anyone can really notice you. However, you're now showing yourself up to the world. Even I heard about your little episode with those ninjas. Have you finally decided to end the plague of mankind and place yourself in the center of it? As Naruto glanced up toward the sky, the last time I chose to involve myself with mankind, I almost destroyed this world. As Gamamaru looked towards him, is that really something you want me to get involved once again, said Naruto. Of course not, Gamamaru said. While I am gracious that you decide not to bring your wrath upon this planet down, the reason why you did not is because you were able to go around the world, like I suggested, and saw the goodness that mankind poses. Even after centuries of staying away, when you return, what you saw placed you in an angered state that you were willing to wipe away everything, until I told you to take a moment and see the goodness that this world has. Thus you did went around and you saw the goodness out there, and you decided against it. If you did not, none of us would have been here right now. Am I right? Well, you were right about my little trip, said Naruto. It did allow me to see the goodness that mankind does possess. However, you're right about one thing. I've been recently thinking about getting involved, said Naruto. As he took the orb, he placed his hand on it and closed his eyes. Gamamaru felt the intense amount of chakra leaking from Naruto as it spread into the orb. From there, Gamamaru could see all over the elemental nation. The image switched so fast he was barely able to keep up. It took around 30 seconds as Naruto handed him the orb. So, have you found anything? As Naruto glanced up towards him. The world is destroying itself, said Naruto. Humankind is destroying nature. The last time, I was able to feel out the entire world. Nature was a lot more powerful, but now, it's grown weaker over time. This is one of the few places that The energy of nature is still strong. You and the other summons. Other than this, it is few out there. Yes, I've seen that over time as well. Nature is getting quite weakened. Humanity is growing. Technology is rising. It is far different from it was back in our days. However, places like these will never change. These places will still be a sanctuary of nature. I suppose you're right about that. Tell me something before I leave though. Your prophecy. Has the chosen one risen yet? Naruto asks. Well, if you would have come to visit me some time ago, you would have known that I had another dream. Is that so? Said Naruto. I thought you said it was incredibly rare for you to have more than one dream in your lifetime. Yes, that is correct. And in this dream you were at the center of it. That is why I knew that sooner or later that you would come to visit me. Is that so? And what was this dream about? Said Naruto. A darkness, unlike any other, will set its sight upon this world. It will try to commandeer and swallow everything in sight. However, the hope is small unless they unite and bring a stop to the everlasting night. Naruto sigh once again with their riddles. So tell me, what exactly did you see? You in the middle of it all, surrounded by this everlasting darkness. However, you choose to remain dormant, not actively seeking to purge the darkness. However, you're not alone. There are others trying to bring you out of it, trying to awaken you. I'm afraid that's all, he said. So you're telling me that I'm stuck in some darkness and others are around to bring me out? And what exactly is that supposed to represent? Said Naruto. I'm afraid I don't know. However, whatever it is, be sure to be ready. I believe that it will be much worse than your mother or anything else that has happened in the past. As Naruto glanced up towards him, there is only one other that can pose such a threat, and if they do come one day, I will be ready for them, said Naruto. As he started to walk away, and I assure you, I'll kill them all, he said, before he vanished away. As Gamamaru watched him leave, a long time ago he dreamt about a blue-eyed boy that would be the one to change his world. However, Naruto was in his dream. His second dream was one so clear that he saw Naruto right in the center. He could not tell what the darkness was. However, the dream before, with that blue-eyed youth. Back then, Naruto was not immortal. The events of that tremendous battle that rocked this entire world for 40 days, that is what led to his immortality. Gamamaru believed that Naruto was changing the future, with him still being around. He was causing destinies to be altered. He was throwing the world into a new timeline. And it was going to change into something that would be more catastrophic. However, he was the only one that could help them with the power that he wielded. But would he choose to do so? Or would he just remain dormant? Gamamaru did not know. They will all just have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Jiraiya and Minato were sitting down. They were told to leave so they could not hear what was going on over there. However, they could all summarize that that was a person that had protected Uzu. Jiraiya was going to be leaving soon as he was going to meet his sensei and Orochimaru halfway, using the toad to reverse summon out there. As he looked down towards Minato, who was trying to understand what was going on, Jiraiya truly believed that Minato was going to be the one to change his world to bring everlasting peace. Gamamaru had told him his future, that he would be there. He would be one of the instigators to watch this peace unfold. However, that was a long time ago, but Jiraiya still believed that Minato will be the one to do it. He will be training the person to bring this peace. Gamamaru did not inform Jiraiya though of his new vision that he had some time ago. The vision that entailed Naruto, who was changing everything, with him still being alive after all these centuries. Both Minato and Jiraiya was talking until, child, the both of them nearly jumped, as they did not feel anything. However, as they turned around they saw him standing there. Minato was frozen under that gaze as he looked up into those eyes. He swallowed thickly. Tell me, what is your name? Jiraiya got to his feet, but he did not say anything, preparing himself just in case, as he did not know this guy's intention. Minato. Namikaze. The one with the blue eyes, said Naruto. No, there is two. Stupid prophecy. As he started to walk away, before he vanished, before they could even say anything, Minato looked towards Jiraiya, unaware why he just said his name like that. He was just compelled to do so. Looking at that man. What was that? Said Minato. I have no idea, but I'm gonna find out, said Jiraiya, as he made his way towards a great toad. Time skip on Ozu. Sitting at the shores was Kushina, as she had a sad look on her face. Naruto was gone. None of them could find him. She was deeply saddened when she woke up, and he was gone. She thought that he would at least tell her, but he was just gone. And she was deeply saddened by that. She had cried. She knew that he could not stay here. She knew that he would not stay. He already said that he would be moving on. But still, they didn't want him to leave. Yes, that was selfish. Immensely so. But she didn't want him to leave. At least say goodbye. And now she missed him. Even her younger sister was saddened to not see him anywhere when she woke up. As she was looking down, her senses picked up on something when she glanced to the heavens, as she saw Naruto lowering himself down. The moment his feet touched the ground, she crashed right into him, wrapping her arms around him tightly in a hug, as Naruto stood there looking down towards her. Realizing what she was doing, she pulled herself back, a blush of embarrassment written all over her face. As Naruto looked towards her and he tilted his head to the side. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, I'm fine. I thought you were leaving, she said. And you didn't even come to tell me, she said. As Naruto smiled down towards her. I would never do something like that. I would at least tell you when I'm leaving, he said. That made her breathe a sigh of relief. However, I am leaving very soon. A look of disappointment came across her face. For how long? I'm not sure. For a couple of years. I'm looking for something, and I'll be gone for quite some time. Looking for something? For what? It's something personal, said Naruto. Nothing to concern you. As she mumbled something to herself. What was that? He said. Oh, it's nothing, she said. So, where will you be going? All over, he said to her. You mean all over the world? As Naruto nodded his head. So this thing, is it running? Hiding? Is it a person? No, it's definitely not a person. Let's just say someone took something from me. Really? Who? As Naruto patted her on the head. Nothing to concern yourself with, he said. I have a meeting with your father and a few other people, so I'm not leaving just yet, he said to her. She smiled hearing that, but a thought, a plan, was currently going through her head at the moment, as she was thinking something, wondering if she could pull it off. He would be going all over the world. As her mind was being racked with information. I have to go, she said, as he looked at her. I'll be back soon, I just have to go do something. My little sister was looking for you all day. I'm sure that she'll be glad to know that you're back. So I'll see you soon, she said, as she ran off, as quickly as possible, causing Naruto to raise an eyebrow at that, as he simply made his way off. Time skip. Arriving to Ozu took them a couple of days. Upon Jiraiya joining them, something seemed off. As Hiruzen asked him what was going on, Jiraiya told him everything regarding what he came across. Let's just say Hiruzen was beyond shocked to hear what he had to say, but he was not the only one. After all, also accompanying them was Orochimaru himself as well. Two of the legendary Sanins. Tsunade Senju was not with them. However, when Jiraiya tried to speak to the Elder Toad, he told him that this had nothing to do with him. His prophecies still hold up. This was something completely different, and it had nothing to do with him. No matter how much he asked, the Elder Toad would not tell him a thing. He would not even tell him how he knew this individual. However, Jiraiya 100% believed that he was a person. Now this was more suspicious and they had so much more questions. But it seems that they will have to wait until they get to Uzu. Arriving towards the island as they took the boat. As they dock, they were immediately greeted by Uzumakis on the shore, who led them. Orochimaru of the Sannin dress, in his Jonin uniform, walk, his hands calmly at his side, as he surveyed the entire place. Orochimaru was close to Danzo, yes, as he saw the world in a different light than Hiruzen. Danzo had spoken about the, foreseeable future and how the Uzumakis were not in it. Despite not being told directly, Orochimaru already knew that Konoha had something to do with the information being leaked, which Uzu did not know about. So he already knew about this, but he did not say anything regarding that. He was not going to ask. Orochimaru seemed to be on the good side, but that was only for now. There were things that he started to witness, things that he wanted to achieve that Konoha would not allow him to do. After witnessing the death of Tsunade's younger brother, Nawaki, he was able to see how easily someone could lose their life. And that was something that he did not desire. Something that he did not desire in the slightest. And he wanted to change that. However, that was more hard than it seems. However, this little trip might give him a possibility that he never had. And that was this individual. A man that is said to be here from the time of the first Hokage, and yet he looked like he was in his early 20s. Orochimaru would definitely like to meet this individual and see what he was all about, to know who exactly he was. That is why he was really here. Yes, Hiruzen had asked him to be here as well. But still, the reason why he was truly here was to meet this man that was able to take down thousands of ninjas by himself, and see what makes him tick. They were escorted throughout Uzu, as Hiruzen was able to see that the village, the main one on the island, was basically untouched. The surrounding islands were still having work being done on them, but the main island was completely untouched. And the Uzumaki's numbers did not seem to have dwindled in the slightest. As he walked, looking around towards the people, trying to give them a smile on his face, trying not to look like he wasn't the one that sent and basically authorized the destruction of them by allowing information to be leaked on them, and basically not responding to any of their, messages for help, and also allowing the daughter to be kidnapped. However, she was now safe. So all of his plan had failed. But he does realize something though. With this, he could use it and tell them that they need to move into Konoha now, to ensure their proper safety for the future. So yes, everything did not go completely wrong, Hiruzen thought, as he walked, making his way. It did not take him too long as they arrived. He was brought straight towards the tower to have a private meeting with none other than Kagami himself. This was a sign of trust that they had. Thus, he told Jiraiya and Orochimaru to not get in any trouble, especially Jiraiya with his perverted ways. As the leader of the Uzumakis told them that they could explore the village to a certain extent, Orochimaru quickly made his way off, not even giving Jiraiya time to say anything at all. Jiraiya simply shrugged as he walked off as well. With that, Hiruzen stepped into the office, and he was able to lay eyes on the man. He saw him. The first thing he saw was his eyes as he stepped inside. It was just the two of them in there. Hiruzen looked into those eyes and he knew it was him. He knew that it was him. As he walked inside and greeted politely, he was greeted back by Kagami. The individual simply looked him over, up and down, as Hiruzen felt like he was being judged by those gaze. "Can I assume that you're the one that everyone has been talking about lately?" Hiruzen asked, in a polite tone. "You would assume correct," said Naruto. "And you must be the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi." "Ah, you know of me," Hiruzen said. "Yes." "Well, I must say I'm surprised. I expected this just to be a meeting between me and Kagami, but all in all, I am glad that you're here," he said. Is that so? Said Naruto, as Hiruzen nodded his head. I wanted to meet the person that was able to save one of our precious allies, to go up against 3 nations by himself and come out without even a scratch as far as I can see. Yes, Naruto is quite a remarkable person, said Kagami. Ah, so Naruto is your name? As Naruto nodded his head. Well then, it's a pleasure to meet you, Naruto Hiruzen said. Likewise, said Naruto. But I must ask if you could stem my curiosity. Who exactly are you? Hiruzen asked. I am just a simple traveling individual who came across a village in need of help, so I decided to lend a helping hand. I mean no disrespect, but a simple individual does not possess power like you do, Hiruzen said. So can you elaborate some more? I'm afraid that's all I'm gonna say, said Naruto. And with that, I'll be taking my leave. What? Hiruzen said. You heard me, said Naruto. I just wanted to meet the Hokage face to face. As Naruto turned towards Kagami and gave him a nod. Kagami nodded as Naruto simply walked out. Hiruzen having nothing to say to persuade him to stay. As Hiruzen watched him leave. Naruto never said that he would be here for long. When he was gone, Hiruzen turned his gaze towards Kagami. You must have more information on him, correct? I'm afraid I don't. You must be joking, Hiruzen said. I am not trying to make this an issue, but this man was able to single-handedly take on thousands of ninjas by himself and completely stop the tide of the war that was going on. Don't you think a power like that should be truly concerning? Yes, it is. However, you don't know Naruto, that is why you cannot objectify or make an assumption on who he is. So far, I was able to witness his character, and he's a really kind individual that is willing to help out a nation that has nothing to do with him. In just genuine kindness, he saw that we were being overwhelmed, so he decided to lend a helping hand. More than I can say for Konoha. Another reason I'm here is to apologize. Even though we couldn't have got your information, it would be quite terrible for anything to happen to the village. The Uzumakis and Konoha has been a great ally for some time now. That is why I am coming to implore you to make the right choice and join Konoha. You can see that this event has led to what the future could possibly hold without the security of a village. With the clan residing in Konoha, the village will be always protected. The members will be safe. The economy of Konoha will increase, but also the safety of the life of the Uzumakis will also increase as well. After we go through the finer details, I promise you, joining Konoha right now is the right choice. As you can see, these nations out here would do anything to get a leg up on us. They know that we're allied with you, so they intend to wipe you out because of your sealing arts. And given that you do not sell to majority of the enemies that came to your doorstep that day, they see you as a threat, a problem that they should extinguish. So I implore you to make the right decision and join up with the Hidden Leaf village, Hiruzen said, believing that his little talk had gotten through until, I'm afraid, I will have to decline. What? We Uzumakis have triumphed through that invasion that they sent, and we would triumph through the next. I'm afraid we cannot give up our home. We have situated here for the better part of centuries now. This is our home. This is where us Uzumaki shall born and grow. This is our motherland, and I'm afraid I cannot give that up for anything. I know that it's not certain that we will be safe every time, given that Naruto has lent a generous hand just this once. But I believe that we Uzumakis will continue to strive no matter what. I believe in our people, and I cannot go against my people, he said. Hiruzen sighed. I see that you're still stuck on this little oath of yours, since the first day I spoke about this change. Exactly. However, I have another proposal. A way that our long-standing relationship can stand through the testimony of time to increase our now tie that we have. Another way, just like the past, to increase the relationship that we have. Like the past, said Kagami as he raised the eyebrow. Yes, in the era of the first Hokage, when the Uzumakis and Konoha first joined hands in order to make the relationship solid. I propose a marriage alliance. As Kagami raised the eyebrow at that. Meanwhile, Orochimaru Sanin was by himself as he stood at the shores. He had just walked through the village of Uzu. People was looking at him all over, but he did not mind that one bit. The Uzumakis possessing longevity, possessing chakra that was said to be able to craft into literal weapon, their adamantine chains. It was something that extremely delighted Orochimaru. Most members can live up to the age of 200. That was something that would be on his quest to gain true immortality. Something that he would definitely need for the foreseeable future. But in order to get that, he would need to get his hands on a couple of Uzumakis. Something that has so far seemed to be a bust, with this individual able to wipe out armies and protect the Uzumakis. He knew that Danzo would have backstabbed Hiruzen and gone after Uzumakis himself. That was just the man nature. However, Orochimaru would have cut a deal with him. A deal that would have helped the both of them out, behind Hiruzen's back. Orochimaru has been plotting for years now. However, he has not yet done what it would need to cause him to be exiled from the village. He has not yet done it to any Konoha shinobi, but he's not been in the village for very long. Always on his missions, exploring through the elemental nation, coming across people that he starts the experiment on, to drive his own goals and ideals. Orochimaru felt his entire body tingle, like something was gonna happen. He was looking toward a small child that was playing on the beach, as she was simply running around with two other children, laughing and playing, their beautiful red hair standing out as members of the clan. As Orochimaru felt something, he was sure that no one was watching him at the moment, yet he felt something. Excuse me. He would have jumped if he did not have a lot of control over himself. Orochimaru turned, only to witness the man that stood behind him. Long white hair, and those eyes that seemed to stare into his very soul. It was him. There was no mistaking that. It was him. This was the man everyone was talking about. And here he thought he would have to find him, but he came to find him himself. Meanwhile that was going on, a man was sitting down on a chair. There were several tubes that ran into his back, that ran into the giant Gedo statue behind him. He was sleeping. As he was sleeping while he was on the chair, his hair was grey, as he lay there. However, what was truly the main focus right now was a being made from pure darkness, as it quickly made its way towards the Gedo statue. Arriving toward the said monstrosity, it placed its hand on top of it. There seemed to be a connection and link between the both of them, as the thing seemed to be happy. That should keep you hidden for a bit longer, he said. The thing then disappeared out of the area, slipping away as it went back up to the surface. This creature was Black Zetsu, a creation of Kaguya, a somewhat brother to Naruto. Well, an abomination brother, as Naruto would never see him as such. However, he did call Kaguya his mother. He was her will. He was the one that was tasked to bring her back. However, all that plan was messed up when that boy became immortal. Because of him being like Kaguya, Zetsu was able to remember everything, as he was able to know what happened that day, why he was immortal, as it was like yesterday, given how long it was. Flashback to the past. Everything was a mess. It seems like a bomb had been dropped on the world, causing pure destruction and chaos. Through the destruction there was a gigantic beast, the Jubi, in its great might and power. It was building a ball of nothing but death and destruction. The launch. On top of the beast's head was none other than Kaguya Otsutsuki, in all their glory and all their might. A few distance away on the ground, proudly standing was Hagoromo Otsutsuki, his Rinnegan brightly showing. Over to the other side was Hamura. His body was cloaked in a blue cloak, his Tensegon on full display. However, The real star of the show here was the individual that stood in front of the both of them. As his fists clenched, the ground underneath him cracking from sheer power, the three of them admitting an immense amount of power as the Jubi was charging his blasts. "Mother!" he screamed out, his voice even echoing above the Jubi's roar of containing the power. "This is your last warning! Stop this now!" Clad in a white robe, with the Megatama around his neck, he had a staff in his hand, a Shakijo to be exact. His forehead was split, to show an eye right in the center of his forehead that was oozing power. Both of his eyes were showing the Rinnegan, just like Hagoromo. However, it was the eye in his forehead that was emitting a great amount of power. Kaguya did not respond, though she seemed to just allow the beast to pump more chakra into its blasts. As Naruto spoke, "Fine then, I suppose that is enough talking. Let's go." As he said that, the full display of the battle could be seen. Hundreds of thousands of creatures that came from the body of the Jubi was around the area. All the massive beasts waited as the Jubi launched the bomb from pure cataclysmic energy that ripped across the nation, tearing everything apart. All of the beasts screeched, seeing the bomb shooting forward as Naruto cracked the ground before he shot forward as well. Hamura blasted up in the sky as Hagoromo slammed his hand together. Power exploded off him as his Susanoo came on full display, rising like a gigantic mountain. All the gigantic beasts down below raged as they saw that. The cataclysmic blast made contact with Naruto, and the entire place went white. A blinding light overtook the entire nation. There was a reason that this fight went on for so long. Kaguya knew that by herself she could never hope of defeating her three sons, so she needed help. The Jubi was all too willing to help her, and not even it could stand the might against the three of them by itself. Thus, it had sent this power out into a miniature version of itself. Numbers it had. It did not have the quality but the quantity, hundreds of thousands of them, and they rage on, intending to cause as much chaos and mischief as they can to cause destruction. As Kaguya started to feel more empowered as she watched the entire place went white, she would not fail. She would take all her chakra back as she's gone mad with power. The Jubit slammed its hand into the ground, trying to cancel the backlash of its own blasts. It took around a full 5 minutes for the blast to die down. When it did, what stood there was a monster. It towered over Hagoromo's Susanoo. It reached high up in the sky. In the forehead of said monster was Naruto, his hands outstretched. The hands of the monster started to gather an obscene amount of power before a staff was formed. The monster brought it down and slammed into the ground. The earth split apart, causing hundreds of the beasts from the Jubi to fall inside. As they went down, Hamura held his hand to the heavens as the clouds became dark. He brought his hand down as lightning shot from the skies and decimate hundreds, thousands of the beasts that Naruto sent into the trench. The beast that Naruto was in was a Susanoo, but it was different from Hagoromo's. Naruto did not keep it up, though he vanished. As the chakra dissipated, Kaguya snapped her head to the right as she brought her arm up, but it was too late as Naruto's feet slammed right into her guard, blasting her right off the Jubi as she crashed right into a mountainside as he flew directly after her. Naruto landed right in front of her. Kaguya picked herself up. "You think you can handle me by yourself? How foolish you have grown," she said to him. As Naruto twirled his staff, "No, mother. You're the one that's grown foolish." "You disrespectful child," she said. "All of you, siding against your own mother. You're nothing but an abomination who wish to plunder everything around you. And for that, I will stop you right here and now." There was an explosion as Kaguya released her full might. The ground and the heavens itself seemed to stop as power exploded out of her. The place was completely frozen. However, Naruto did not back down, nor did he step away. His eyes seemed to glow. As they start to glow deeper and deeper, an ominous glow seemed to wrap around his very core, as his body seemed to be strengthened by his power flowing through him. Even the horns on top of his head seemed to get more pronounced. Naruto was different from his two other brothers, given the fact that, while Hagoromo had the Rinnegan and Hamura had the Tensegan, Naruto had a Tensegan in his forehead, while his Rinnegans were in both of his eyes. He seemed to be a combination of the two of them. As he looked towards his mother in front of him, that was releasing all of her might, her power rising higher and higher. As Naruto prepared himself, this was going to be the battle of a lifetime. And so they fought, and fought, and fought. Given the amount of power they had, they fought for a very long while, until Kaguya saw that she was losing. All of the creatures that was created was destroyed. In a last-ditch effort though, she fired one of her all, killing Ashbone towards none other than Hagoromo to stop him. He was preparing something to lock her away. She had to stop him. Hagoromo could not get away. He had to remain where he was, as he focused his chakra he was planning to seal her away. The problem was, as Hagoromo could not move, Naruto was trapped, just knocked down by the gigantic beast. However, he had to quickly push the thing off him to save his brother. Kaguya only had one arm. The right side of her face was smashed in rather badly. As she was healing, she fired the thing. Hagoromo Hamura yelled as he was tired over to the side. But that is when it happened. Hagoromo was knocked out of the way. After fighting for so long, even them can succumb to tiredness. As a bone ripped through something. But it was not Hagoromo. It was Naruto. The all-killing ash bone burst right through his stomach. Hagoromo glanced up, his hands locked together. As he looked up in shock. "Big brother," he said. Naruto. Otsutsuki was his older brother, the first to be born. They were not identical triplets. As he looked toward his big brother, he couldn't believe it. Seeing that Naruto's shirt had been completely torn off, he could see the thing destroying his body, destroying him from the inside out. His older brother was gonna die. But guys, to be in subscribe right here. If you want the next person to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification say posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.